Good day, all, and welcome to another edition of Local Legislator Live at 11. I am your host, Charles Gates, where our mission is to be the premier source of local election information in the United States and an advocate for the sustainability of local businesses nationwide. This morning, we've got the pleasure of having from Virginia Beach, Matthias Paul Telkamp. He is running for school board in the wonderful city on the water, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing this morning?
Fantastic, fantastic. These are called raw interviews, which means we use no fillers or no fluff, so we get right to it. So, Mr. Telkamp, tell us about you. What is your education and occupation, and why are you running for Virginia Beach School Board?
Yeah. So my uh, educational background is I graduated from high school, and then I kind of meandered through life for a little while, and decided to go back into vocational school and got a computer support uh, certificate, and uh, that led me to uh, IT work, and I've been in IT ever since. Um, I most of the stuff that I do is Microsoft Office 365, uh, creating enterprise applications and integrating an entire company into better collaboration. Uh, Past that, my reasons for running for school board are really kind of personal because of my kids. Single father, my ex-wife passed away in 2016, and when you're a single parent having to deal with the school system, I don't have any family. I don't really have any friends that I've signed up to help me with stuff. It got very frustrating dealing with the school system and the lack of uh, coordination because my kids have been in multiple schools. And so when you're dealing with three different schools for three different kids and you're seeing different problems at different schools and information that's not transferred from one school to the next, and they're constantly saying, we got this and we'll get it over to the other school, and then you call the other school and they're like, no, you have to come in and fill that out here because we won't accept it if it's not if it's from somewhere else. Is it just got to the point where it was too much for me to not uh, complain about. After I complained about it, nothing happened. I decided I was going to run because I'm tired of parents not being listened to. And it seems like a lot of the people on the board right now currently have personal uh, ideas and beliefs that they think are more important than anyone else. And I just can't agree with that.
Hmm. Now, sir, what is your full name on the ballot?
Matthias Paul Telkamp,
And Matthias, spell that for us.
Matthias.
All right. We want to make sure that our viewers out there and the potential voters know exactly what your name is on the ballot. Thank you for that, sir. Now, we understand that school board candidates are not required to disclose any political party affiliation. Do you associate with any party at all?
I do. Uh, I'm a Democrat, uh, but I grew up in Texas, and I was originally a Republican. And a lot of the stuff that, like, I wasn't affiliated to the Republican Party at that time, but I've watched over the last 30 years the progress that uh, they've been trying to take. And I just can't agree with the platform of harvesting money out of people. The government services are there for the people, not something that's just there for benefiting politicians.
Okay. Now, how long have you lived in Virginia Beach and have you held any public offices prior to this?
So I've lived in Virginia Beach since 2013. I have not ever held any political office before. I think that it just became something where I realized if you want change, you have to be part of the change.
Okay. Now, to our viewers out there, if you like this interview and like to see more, make sure you subscribe to our Facebook page, connect with us on Twitter and Instagram, and view and subscribe our YouTube channel. And most importantly, leave us a comment and let us know who or what you would like to hear from in the future. We will do our best to get that person or a representative from that organization on the air. Now, Mr. Telkamp, what has been your community involvement and how has that helped you prepare for this moment?
So my community involvement has been mostly with my kids' schools over the last few years, because single parent, you just kind of have to do everything for all the kids. And I didn't. It wasn't until my kids got into high school that I realized just how how much of an impact being part of the PTA actually is, and what you're able to do for the teachers, for the students, and for the school itself. And so I've been part of the Friends of the EBA, which is the Kempsville Academy PTA, and I've been the fundraising chair for the first year, and now I'm currently sitting in the fundraising chair and the second VP chair due to COVID issues. But it has been a learning experience being on that board, but seeing just what it takes to help get everybody something. We've donated gifts for the teachers. We've donated pins and awards for the students. And we've given out scholarships for kids. And real quick, just want to tell everybody, if you can, just go on Amazon Smile, or go smile.amazon.com. It's going to be your regular Amazon login. But you can select the Friends of the EBA, and we've done fundraisers in the past, but this is one where you don't have to even do anything besides just purchase on Amazon normally. But we've not had our fundraising stuff because we've always done the amphitheater. And so we're going to be taking a huge hit this year from not being able to gather that. And I think it's something that anyone can do to help all of us. So.
Okay, now what is that again? You mention that Amazon site again one more time.
Smile.amazon.com.
Okay.
And just select the Friends of the EBA.
Now, EBA, what does that stand for?
Entrepreneurial and Business Academy.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. You and I are gonna have to have a little chat once we get done with this interview.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Telkamp, if elected, what are your 4 top goals?
So number 1 is teacher pay. And I think that it goes without saying that our teachers are the bedrock of our school system. And without them, we don't stand a chance of being able to educate our students. With that said, they have gone over a decade with minimal, 0.5% to 1% pay increases, which does not cover a cost of living adjustment over those same time periods. And they were supposed to get a 4.5% increase this last year, and that was taken away by COVID because the school lost $24 million in funding, and they had to take that from that pay increase.
Okay.
So second is going to be the school buildings. We've got to find a way to start funding our school buildings, because right now the plan is that they're going to take approximately 100 years in order to replace the 70 schools that we currently have. And I don't think that that is a sustainable plan when they aren't able to give us a faster timeline to replace these crumbling school buildings that our students are in. The last thing we need is for kids getting sick, or for the building to fall, because there's cracks in a lot of these schools. They've got wings that are closed, and we need to definitely get that stuff improved and fix it. Third, my biggest thing is to improve the technology around the entire school system. The current board does not have anybody that has a technology background like I do. There's nobody that understands enterprise architecture, and how right now what they're doing is they've got all these tools that they're throwing at the teachers and saying, you can use whatever you need to in order to get things done. But what they're seeing is that you've got one teacher in, let's just say math. You got one teacher that is using one set of programs, and you've got another math teacher that's doing another set of programs, and then you've got another teacher that's using another set, but then they've got a math specialist, and those specialists all work across every uh, grade. They work for, they only specialize on math. They help the teachers get everything put in place, and they are having to deal with multiple programs now because they are having to try and help these teachers in different locations. And then you've got the students that may be taking multiple classes, and they're having to learn from different tools. And then you've got parents and grandparents that are all trying to get in there. And it becomes a problem when you start looking at it from a macro instead of a micro perspective. And we need to have that brought back and really kind of focus in on what is it that works for us best, and what is it that we're going to be able to uh, get working.
Mm. Interesting.
And then my fourth one, uh, I think the biggest thing is ending the school prison pipeline. Right now, the big push from some of my opponents is zero tolerance. And what we're seeing is that just does not work. We need to have a more compassionate way of dealing with student issues. And I think that what we could do is use funds to get mental health experts into our schools and help these kids deal with their problems, and not make it something where they're pulled out of class and they're put in juvenile detention because of a slip up.
Okay. Now, last question for you, sir. How can we find out more about you and your campaign?
So if you go on Facebook, you'll be able to find me at MP Telkamp. If you're on Twitter, I'm on, again, MP Telkamp. And if you go to my website, it's mptelkamp.com. So
Yeah.
I try to make it really simple, and just first initial, middle initial, last name.
And that last name, how do you spell Telkamp?
Telkamp.
Okay, because I know some people will spell it Telcamp. I want to make that clarification. Is clarification, clarity is cash, as we like to say in the entrepreneurial space.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Telkamp, and to our viewers out there. We hope you enjoyed this interview. Again, this is Local Legislator Live at 11, where we do come to you most weekdays live via Facebook at 11 o'clock a.m. Again, we do not feature the candidates at 11 o'clock live because there are just too many of them. And to have each one each day, even if we did that for 4 months, it would not be enough time to do so. But we do open this opportunity up for every person running for a local position, elected position in the entire Hampton and the Richmond metro area. It does not cost you a quarter. We want to get you on here so people can learn more about you. Not about Charles Gates, but about you as the candidate and what you stand for so they can be informed when they go to the polls. So, again, thank you so much, sir, for being here. Thank you, viewers, for being here. Mr. Telkamp, Godspeed to you and everything that you do. And to our listeners out there, remember, we're not global, we are local. Take care of yourself. Until next time, take care.